Hey everyone, this is my video summary for Chapter 3, Ancient Egypt. In this presentation, I'm walking through 7 key artworks that basically define 3,000 years of Egyptian art. I'm going to break down what these pieces looks like, why they matter, and how they connect to the larger themes of religion, kingship, society, and political change. So before jumping into the artworks, we need the bigger picture. Egyptian art stayed visually consistent for over 3,000 years because it had one job: to support religion and the afterlife. Everything was designed to maintain cosmic balance. Kingship drove almost all artistic change because pharaohs used art to legitimize their divine authority. Artists followed strict conventions: hierarchic scale, composite pose, and those clean, frontal, balanced composition we always see. The chapter covers the Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, New Kingdom, the modern revolution, the return to tradition. The 7 works I chose show how Egypt stayed consistent but also evolved when society demanded it. So, the first piece is the Palette of Narmer, one of the earliest narrative artworks in history. Narmer is shown as the biggest figure using hierarchy scale, and he's depicted in that famous composite pose: profile head, frontal eye, profile legs. This object basically says the blueprint for Egyptian art. The registers, the symbolism, the dominance of the king, the idea of order, it all starts here. This palette literally creates the visual language Egypt will follow for the next 3 millennia. Next, we move to the Old Kingdom with Menkaure and his queen. Here, the king and queen are shown with perfect youthful bodies. No aging, no emotion, nothing individual. These aren't portraits, they're ideals. The rigid stance, the frontal posture, the muscular body, all of this communicates divine kingship and eternal strength. This statue reflects Old Kingdom values: stability, order, and perfection. Art wasn't trying to show what kings actually looked like. It was showing what kings meant. And then we get a total contrast. The seated scribe, this guy has a soft belly, rounded shoulders, natural aging, way more realistic than the kings. Egyptian art used realism selectivity. Ordinary elites could be shown as individuals, but the kings had to be eternal and ideal. The inlaid eyes makes the sculpture super lifelike, and his posture tells us his profession. This piece really shows how artists were fully capable of realism. They just chose when to use it. Moving into the Middle Kingdom, things have shifted. The head of Senusret is one of the first emotionally expressive royal portraits in Egyptian history. He looks tired, stressed, and weighted down. The curved lines around his eyes, mouth, show the burden of leadership. This reflects what was happening in Egypt: political fragmentation, instability, and a new expectation that kings should show responsibility. It's the first time a pharaoh has portrayed as human, not just divine. Now, we reach Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's few female pharaohs. She ruled successfully for over 20 years, but because Egyptian art had no visual formula for a female king, she adopted full male iconography: broad shoulders, false beard, masculine body, all delivered choices to legitimize her rule. This statue comes from her massive mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahri, where hundreds of similar sculpture reinforce her authority. She used art strategically to define her image and secure her position in a patriarchal system. Then everything changes with Akhenaten. This statue looks nothing like earlier pharaohs. Elongated head, narrow eyes, wide hips, soft belly, and even androgynous features. This break from tradition mirrors his religious revolution. He shut down Egypt's polytheistic system and elevated the Aten, the sun disk, as the one god. The new religion demanded a new artistic style. This piece shows how completely Egyptian art could shift when ideology changed. It is the most radical stylistic transformation in Egyptian history. This relief continues the Amarna revolution. Akhenaten and Nefertiti play affectionately with their children under the rays of the Aten. This is the first time we ever see a royal family shown as human, emotional, and intimate. The lines are softer, more curved, and more naturalistic, and the Atens raise hand in hand, offering life, literally giving the royal family divine energy. It's a complete break from the distant, formal depiction of kings in previous eras. So to wrap everything up, this 7 artworks show the full arc of Egyptian art, not just how it looked, but why it mattered. Egyptian art was built on religious foundations. Its main purpose was to maintain cosmic order and secure a successful afterlife. Kingship shaped almost every change. When royal ideology shifted, the art shifted with it. During political crises like the Middle Kingdom or the Amarna period, art transformed dramatically to reflect new realities. Representation was class-based. Kings were idealized and eternal, while non-royal figures could be shown more realistically. And despite all the changes, Egyptian art maintained an unbelievable level of consistency for 3,000 years. That's the lasting significance. Egyptian art became one of the most stable and recognizable visual language in human history. Egyptian art wasn't just decoration. It was a system of belief, political messaging, and cultural memory that survived over 3,000 years. These 7 artworks reveal how Egyptian balanced tradition with transformation, proving that visual culture can outlast empires. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this helped you see Egyptian art not as old statues, but as a living language that carried a civilization through time.